So this is the result of the lattice process. I've got the annulus that I called annulus flex, and I've hidden. This is the target is this flex disc set, and the base is this annulus. I'm sorry, is this disc 4. So you notice that the pulsus is grayed out. I've hidden that so you could see, what results we got. Okay, and you can see I've got, I'm keying both of these things. This is for the pulsus and this is for the annulus. Now if I go back to display show all, now you can see where the pulsus is reacting as well. Okay, so let's see if we can recreate that situation or that option here. Okay, so while I have the disk, I will duplicate it. The disk set, duplicate it, move it. And I'm going to change that to, actually I don't want to move it yet, I want to be able to see it. So I'll change this to extend. Apparently I have one from the previous thing I did, but I don't think, it must be hidden. Okay, I'm going to just get rid of that for a second. We use the one I just made. Okay, let's assign it to the, okay, I'm going to hide the original, put the extended one back up there, and take off the restriction there, and let's add a lattice to it. Now I'm not going to do anything fancy with the lattice. I'm just basically going to grab the points at the two ends. So that's the nice thing about this system. We'll go back. Actually, this should be the opposite way because I'm going to extend. Let's go to a spot where I know I'm extending in the maximum position here. So let's go to my driver, and I know, and I can double check in my channel that -7, that's where I do with my extension. Okay, so I'll go back to my lattice, use the points here, and move them, relatively speaking, so that I'm close. And then I'll do the same with the other end. So the lattice is working very much like the soft select. It's averaging, that point is averaging its influence. The closer a point is to the lattice point, the closer a vertex is to a lattice point, the more influence it receives from that lattice. So it's, when you compare this to what I did earlier, it's much quicker to use the lattice. I really didn't think of this earlier, but boy, it's for a big help. Okay. Okay, well, it looks like I got it. All right, now what I found last time when I did this, so here's my extension. In other words, the target. And here's the base. Remember, and this is what the lattice saw when it was first created. This is what it sees now as the alteration. So it's comparing these two things to calculate how things are changed. I'm going to select all of them. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm just going to group these guys. I'm going to middle mouse drag them under that. And that should let me move this whole thing out to the side here. Now I'll bring my original disc back out. Okay, so I have to be careful again when I select. I'm going to select the, first I want the target, so I'm doing the extension. So there's the pulses. I'll hold down Command key, get the pulses there. And then I'm going to go under Animation Editors, Shape Blend, or Shape Editor, I'm sorry. Okay, so everything here is flex. I'm going to create a bend shape deformer. And I'm going to make sure I change the names to extend so that I don't get confused. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is the same thing I did a little while ago. I'm going to grab that, the original or base pulses, and I'm going to grab the extended pulses. I'm going to select both of them, and I'm going to go under Display, Hide, Selection. Whoa! What happened here? Wow. Oh, look at that. It came back. Okay. So, this relationship, now let's see if the other relationship works. So this is when I'm in flexion. I'm sorry, this one is when I'm in flexion. Okay, that's okay. How about when I'm in extension? Yep, that's okay. All right, so it worked. Let's make this say extension to make sure I got it right. Okay. So now we're going to go through the same process we just did a few minutes ago. I'm going to get the target annulus. I'm going to look in the attribute editor, and I'm looking for extend 1. And really what I should call this is annulus extend. So I can keep these things straight as well, because I want to be able to find these names in the attribute editor. Okay, so there's my target, and I'm looking for that annulus extend in the attribute editor. Sorry about that. I want to first have annulus selected. Go look through here. It is annulus extend. There's that annulus set driven key. It's now the driver. Go get the, I'm sorry, it's now the driven. Go get the driver vertebra. Choose its rotation X. So at this point, I want the annulus to be fully in the extended shape. So I move that. I'm going to key it. Now I'm going to take the annulus back to 0. And I'm going to take the rotation. And it's just annoying, so I'm going to put this back as well, the translation. And I want to make the annulus go back to 0. Okay. And now I'm going to key again. So here I've got the extended annulus and the driver both at 0. So I key that. Okay. Now I'm going to show. Okay, so now I've got the pulses, which is the extended pulses. That's my target. And holding the command key, I'm going to go after the pulses inside the driver. Okay. And I'm sorry, I got a little ahead of myself. First, I want the pulses inside the extended. Then I need to find the attribute editor, and I'm looking for what should say extend. Okay. And did I miss it? Oh, I'm looking for, oh, that's right, extend. So where is that there? Oh, there it is, extend one right in front of me. I'm sorry. Okay, click on this, right mouse, say set driven key. So now the driver, this right here, is now the driven. Got to pick up the driver. Okay. Going to load it. Got to choose this rotation X. So actually now everything's at 0, 0. The propulsus is at 0, and the vertebra rotation is at 0. So what I'm going to do is just key this. Now I'm going to move the rotate to the maximum flex position. Change the shape of the propulsus. Well, I'm sorry, I want to be in the maximum extended position. I beg your pardon. Maximum extended position. Get the propulsus, put it on. So now it's mimicking the target, okay? And then key it again. Now, with the target selected, I'm going to go again to the attribute editor. Going to say set driven key. That is now the driven. And the rotation X is already there. So, bump, bump, key. Okay. So theoretically now, as I move through here, let me make this bigger and get some of these things out of your way so you can see it better. Not a very good annulus to begin with. That's my fault. I made it a little too big. But it does distort properly. So, okay, so that's how we did that today in class, where you can actually use a lattice, which is faster, more efficient than the soft select. But then you have to create, if you do want to get both structures to move, you have to create a shape blend for each one. Okay.